Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to my Feisty Friday episodes. Okay, so we are in the middle of a series right now all about things that I stopped worrying about as I became a better coach. All right, and today we are talking about something that comes up quite often with my coach mentorship clients, and that is client communication. All right. So let me know if any of this sounds familiar or if you've had these thoughts before. Why won't my client answer my messages? My client's not checking in, or the check-in's always late. My client never sends videos of their movements. My client doesn't communicate. They don't understand how long this will take. My client doesn't follow through on the things that we talk about, etc. You get my vibe. And if you've been coaching human beings for any length of time, I can almost guarantee you have said those things or had those thoughts before. And these are things that I have said before, especially early on in my career. All right. And here's the hard truth about these types of things. You have to ask better questions. And you have to teach clients how to behave in a coaching relationship. All right? Because if you were coaching Gen Pop, so just like regular people, I bet they've never had a coach before and they do not know what to do. Okay? And sometimes, as coaches ourselves, we've usually had coaches before, and so we know how to behave in a coaching relationship. But for the average person, they don't know how to behave, and they don't know how they're supposed to communicate with the coach. You have to tell them, and these things are best talked about early on in your coaching container, your coaching relationship, so that you set expectations. Like, here's how you are going to see the most success. You need to be responsive to my messages. You need to send your check-ins on time. And if you're already in the middle of a coaching relationship or you've been coaching this person for a while and they're doing these things, you need to ask better questions. You have to be very careful to not come at them in an authoritative way and being like, why aren't you doing these things? You need to do this, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's going to respond to that, okay? So, also you have to tread lightly and just be careful about how you approach this. And asking better questions can be a way, it's a really great way to get more insight into why your client isn't doing the thing. And then from there, you can create solutions around how to make it better. So for example, if you have a client who is not checking, they're missing their check-ins or they're not responding to you, asking them things like, I'm noticing the past few weeks, you've been late submitting your check-ins, not responsive to my messages. Is everything okay? Is there another day of the week that would work better for you with your check-ins? And seeing what they say. If more times than not, the person is going to be like, I'm so sorry, I have XYZ going on. Is there a way we could change my check-in day? That would make it easier, right? Basically, the idea is asking them, I'm noticing that XYZ is happening. What would have to be true in order for this to happen? Right? And a lot of times you get so much insight from the person into what is really going on and how you should approach things from there. So do you see the difference between coming at it from a curiosity standpoint versus just getting mad and then just trying to tell your client what to do, right? Like the curiosity standpoint is absolutely the way to go. You're going to get farther. You're going to find out more information. You're going to get an idea behind like what this person is already thinking in terms of like, how could we make this work, or how could I make this better? And that's going to be received a lot better. Okay, so that is a really huge thing that I wish more coaches understood and knew how to do, because like when a client is not holding up their end of the deal, their end of the coaching relationship, it just makes your life super hard because they're not actually doing the things they need to do to get progress. And that means that you're not actually getting them what they hired you for. And there's nothing more infuriating as a coach than that, because we want our clients to get results. We want them to make progress, but it's it's impossible if they're not holding up their end of the bargain. And so again, coming at it from a curiosity standpoint, like imagining that you and the client are on the same team and you guys are brainstorming on a solution on how to make this work better. And a lot of times that builds trust with clients, and like the adherence just goes up because they're, doing something, like you change the approach or whatever the thing is, and we are helping it make it work for them, which is what so many people need help with in the first place, is just figuring out how to make health and fitness a part of their life, right? And this also helps the client develop some problem solving skills on their own for when, in the future, when they're not coaching with you anymore, they will remember like, oh, Ashley used to always ask me like, how could I make this work for me? Or what would have to be true in order for me to follow through on XYZ. That really sticks with people, and that is very powerful. And so overall, I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope this has given you some insight. I just want to affirm that there's nothing wrong with you, and just be more curious with your clients and watch your client retention get better and their follow through get better. And if you need more help with this, these are the types of things I talk about with my coach mentorship clients. We talk about client situations all the time because, again, this is something that's not covered in your certification. These is one of those things that come up once you're actually have clients and you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how to handle this situation. This is where an experienced mentor comes in clutch, because I have coached so many more humans than my mentorship clients, and I have already made a lot of mistakes, so I can be like, hey, let's go right to this usually works, right? Let me know what they say and I will help you navigate this conversation. So if you need support like that, send me a DM on Instagram, Ashley Crocker 127, and I will talk to you next week, where we will be talking about the next topic of dropping the need to entertain your clients with their workouts. All right, talk to you soon.